Good evening and welcome to Newton County's Virtual Learning Experience Day 2, Curriculum and Instruction. I am Dr. Penny Mosley, the Director of Elementary Education, and I have with me my colleague, Dr. Nikita Warfield, Director of Secondary Education and Professional Learning. Our purpose tonight, this evening, is to connect with our parents, to offer our families opportunities to gain program information to help their student prepare for the NCSS virtual experience. Our session this evening will be 45 minutes. The session will be recorded and posted on the NCSS website for later access. Question and answer time provided at the end of the presentation using the link provided. And as presenters, we will answer questions as time permits. Again, thank you for attending this session. As we prepare for the virtual learning experience, the first thing we are asking our families to do is to pick up requested Chromebook devices, hotspots for our children. You see the schedule below. High school, August 24th through the 25th. Middle school, August 26th and the 27th. Elementary school, August 24th, 25th, and 26th. We are also asking our parents to participate in the Newton Parent Connect virtual informational sessions. Tonight, we have curriculum and instruction, but we have Wednesday, student services and food nutrition, Thursday, special education, and Friday, student family supports and after-school program. On Saturday, we have our wonderful Parent University coming up for all of our families. The topics include Canvas, Infinite Campus, My Launchpad, Zoom, Internet Safety, and Getting Started for Students resource page. As we are preparing for our virtual learning experience, we are asking our families to complete the Getting Started with Virtual Learning checklist no later than August 31st. More information will be shared at the Parent University training. We are also asking our parents to participate in our virtual open houses. We will have elementary, Monday, August 31st, middle school, Wednesday, September 2nd, high school, Thursday, September 3rd. Our Newton theme school individuals, elementary and middle school, will participate in open house on Monday, August 31st. Then we have day 1, the start of our school year, September 8th, 2020. Again, throughout the presentation, you will see this slide that asks you to type in your questions using the link below. Now let's take a look at option 2, school-based virtual learning, our instructional model for students pre-K through 12th grade. Students are taught by a school system teacher who will follow the district's curriculum maps and virtual learning software and use virtual learning software. This option requires heavy use of the instructional technology, including digital tools that are already available in our classrooms. This online model leverages the strengths of teachers and staff in supporting the learning success of students. Now that you have the overview of option 2, let's dive a little deeper into a sample schedule for an elementary school student. Each morning, we encourage students to eat breakfast, wear school-appropriate clothing, and log on to Canvas using My Launchpad, our single sign-on. While on Canvas, students will be able to access the class Zoom link and begin instruction. At 7:40, the morning meeting will begin. A morning meeting is an engaging way to start each day, build a strong sense of community, and set children up for success, socially and academically. We encourage students to turn cameras on, but this is not a requirement. At 8 a.m., the first instructional block begins. The instructional block includes ELA, math, science, and social studies. The times will vary depending upon your child's school and grade level. All instructional segments are designed using a three-part lesson: opening, a work session, and a closing. The opening of the session is live with the teacher. It's synchronous or in sync, all students together learning at the same time. This opportunity is for the teachers to activate prior knowledge, engage students in critical thinking, ask questions, and provide direct instruction. The opening should last no more than 15 minutes. Next, students transition into the work session. The work session. During this time, students can work independently, in small groups, or one-on-one with the teacher. Teachers may ask at this time for the cameras to be on and for the students to mute their mics as they work for a 20 to 30-minute period of time. Class is still in session and students should not log off. This is the teacher's virtual classroom. The teacher can check on students' progress during this time. Next, the teacher will transition to the closing of the lesson. This is when the teacher will bring all the students back together again to discuss and assess students' learning for the instructional segment. The closing of the lesson should last no more than 15 minutes. After the closing, then our students have a brain break. A brain break is a short mental break that is taken during regular intervals during our classroom instruction. Brain breaks usually last from 5 to 10 minutes and work best when they incorporate physical activities. So please don't be surprised if you see your child doing jumping jacks or singing songs during the brain break time. The final segment of the day is our intervention and enrichment period. This is asynchronous and or synchronous, giving an opportunity for students to work independently or with a teacher at the assigned time. This segment is designed to address instructional gaps and to enrich academic areas. So you heard me use two words, synchronous and asynchronous. So when we think about those two terms, let's look at the pictures below. You have synchronous. You see the swimmers together. Everyone is learning at the same time and at the same place. Those are our Zoom lessons, live Zoom lessons that we're asking our students to ensure that they're logged in on. Next, we have asynchronous learning. Learning is occurring independently and allows students to work at their own pace. This could be pre-recorded lessons, blogs, Edgenuity, homework, discussion boards, but this gives an opportunity for students to work independently and off the screen at times. At this time, we will have Dr. Nikita Warfield to come and talk to us a little bit about the middle school and high school experience.
Good evening. I am Dr. Nikita Warfield, Director of Secondary Education and Professional Learning. The next few slides will provide you with an overview of a sample of secondary schedules in the school-based instructional model. This is a sample of the school-based virtual learning schedule. Please take a moment and review this middle school schedule. This schedule is located on the district website under the Reopening of School tab. Please click on the Learning Models option, and the schedule is located in a link at the bottom of the page. Please take a moment and review the sample high school schedules for Eastside, Newton, and Alcovey High School. As you can see with this schedule, as well as with the middle school schedule, we have included brain breaks as well as support for learning that has been built into the middle and high school schedule. Please take a moment and review. And the final sample schedule is the Newton College and Career Academy schedule. Students will begin their day virtually at their base schools and then take their remaining courses for their daily virtual experience at the Career Academy. Again, schedules are located on the district website under the Reopening School tab. And now let's take a moment and have an opportunity to review the structure of daily lessons for students in the secondary program, which includes 6th through 12th grade students. Students will have a block schedule, meaning students have fewer classes per day for a longer period of time. Academic classes will be provided to them on a rotational basis. They will receive synchronous instruction the first 30 to 35 minutes of the class period. Synchronous instruction includes live virtual learning with the teacher and their students' classmates during real time. This includes live streaming of lectures, video conferencing, teleconferencing, as well as live chatting. Teachers also have the ability to record and archive their lessons in Canvas. Next, we move to asynchronous instruction. Asynchronous instruction, it takes place for 25 to 30 minutes each class. When learners participate asynchronous instruction includes learners participating in learning absent from the teacher. It includes the following methods: self-guided lesson modules, exchanges across discussion boards or social media platforms, streaming video content, reviewing virtual libraries, and posted lecture notes. This is not a time for students to log off the computer or leave the virtual class. They are engaged in independent practice, which may or may not include them turning off the camera, working in Zoom breakout rooms in groups, and I want you to note that it is important that they remember that class continues to remain in session during asynchronous instruction. As shared, one of the asynchronous activities is independent practice. This work session can include reteaching individual or small groups of students, independent reading or writing time, English language support, and or working on IEP goals and objectives. The class concludes with a closing. This takes place the last 10 minutes of class. This is a live, virtual closing of the day's lesson with the teacher. This is a summary of the day's lesson. Supports and practice opportunities are available during the schedule. You will see extended learning opportunities on the schedule. During this time, students have an opportunity to select a class from their schedule for an additional opportunity to connect with teachers over content. It helps to close those gaps in learnings if the student has a challenge in a specific area. Specialized services such as special education as well as gifted services will be delivered in this model. Our Director of Special Education, Ms. Brooke Ramsey, will speak about this Thursday to provide more clarity and insight regarding the support students will receive in both of these options. Gifted students will receive their services in this model as well, so I want to make sure that we note that. Homework is provided to students for practice opportunities. You will note in the schedule that time is provided within this model for students to complete their homework during the school day, and they have access to their teachers during that specific time frame to ask questions if they experience a challenge in completing their assignment. School-based virtual open house. Each school will host a virtual open house. Please visit your respective school's website to locate links to access these meetings. The start time for each virtual open house is 5:00 p.m. on the following dates: Elementary school, Monday, August the 31st. Middle school, Wednesday, September the 2nd. And high school, Thursday, September the 3rd. As a reminder, if you have questions, please use the link below to type your questions. We will begin answering those questions when we conclude our presentation. Now we will move forward with option 3. Option 3 is the self-paced virtual academy model for grades K through 12. Students will have the freedom to adapt their schedules to accommodate their other interests. Students will receive instruction via Edgenuity, our learning platform. Self-paced instructional model. Newton County School System Self-Paced Virtual Academy combines the benefits of a traditional school with the flexibility and personalization that online learning offers. Our competency-based learning approach allows students to move faster or slower through the material depending on their individual skills and knowledge. Now we will review the characteristics of a self-paced learner. A self-paced learner would be a student that is independent, organized, strong reading and comprehension skills, is disciplined, and has excellent time management skills. Now, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Dr. Penny Mosley, as she shares about the elementary self-paced model.
Elementary self-paced model is designed for students K through 5. This option is not available to our pre-K students. Students will access the Edgenuity and learning modules on Canvas, our single sign-on. Attendance will be taken by the duration in the online course and the submission of assignments. The grades will be transferred from Edgenuity in our Canvas modules into Infinite Campus. Our coordinators for EL, InQuest, along with our Director of Special Education, are working diligently to ensure that our students can receive services using option 3. But this is very important. Parents will play a crucial role in supporting their child in the self-paced model. Students will not have access to direct instruction from a teacher. Again, our students will need a lot of assistance in the self-paced virtual instructional model. This model does not have direct instruction from a teacher. Orientation for our elementary students will take place on September 3rd at 5:00 p.m. Information will be emailed to those families who have selected the elementary self-paced instructional model.
Now let's review the secondary self-paced model. The self-paced model is also available to our 6th through 12th grade students. Again, students within this model would need to be independent, disciplined, have strong reading and comprehension skills, time management skills, as well as organizational skills. This student will receive limited support from a teacher. So as Dr. Mosley shared, students will not receive direct instruction from a teacher. Students will access the Edgenuity platform through our district's learning management system, Canvas. Edgenuity allows students to easily access their coursework, communicate with educators, monitor their progress, and view a variety of reports that help students to stay on track. Attendance will be taken by the duration in the online course and submission of assignments. Grades will be transferred from Edgenuity to Infinite Campus. Specialized services, special education. Again, as I shared in the last slide when I was up, our Director of Secondary Education, Ms. Brooke Ramsey, will provide more clarity and insight regarding the supports within these options. And she will speak with you all, it will be Thursday, during this same parent community platform. Gifted services, students will receive services in this model. They will be enrolled in gifted courses, which include gifted coursework. Again, parents, you will play a crucial role in supporting your child. There is a semester-long commitment in this model. The semester is from September the 8th, 2020 to January the 27th, 2021. An overview of this platform will be provided to students and parents on September the 1st at 5:00 p.m. for middle school and 6:30 p.m. for high schools. Now we will review the structure of the day for the secondary self-paced students. Students will have the opportunity to complete assignments any time of the day or any day of the week. However, to ensure that they are on track for completion of the course, students are encouraged to log in each day and work on their assignments. Students will refer to their course map for daily assignments. At minimum, students will be assigned 3 hours per course per week. In aggregate, that is 18 to 21 hours of coursework per week, depending on the number of courses that the student is enrolled in. We have a coordinator for the self-paced model, whom you will meet next week if you're in this model, Ms. Anna Hebert-Daniel, and she and her team, inclusive of facilitators from each school, will maintain contact with students and parents to note progress and offer support when needed. Again, an overview of this platform will be provided to students and parents on September the 1st for middle school at 5:00 p.m. and for high school, 6:30 p.m. Again, if you have any questions, please use the link below and type those questions in. Supply list. Please check your child's school website for specific information as it relates to the supplies that students will need for this upcoming school year. Technology, Chromebook, and internet devices. Technology devices will be distributed to parents for students who are in need and have submitted a request. Elementary school students, this is August the 24th, 25th, and 26th. For middle schools, August the 26th and 27th. For high schools, August the 24th and 25th. High school students also need to sign up for an appointment time. And now let's review the virtual learning checklist. Please check our district's website under Reopening of Schools to access this document. This document is a virtual learning checklist to assist students with preparation for virtual learning on the first day of school. Please have your child to complete this checklist by August the 31st. Again, this checklist is located on the district website. You will need to go to the section the tab that says Reopening of Schools. You click on it, and then you'll see Virtual Learning Assistance for Parents. And the checklist is located on that page. This next slide provides you with contact information for technical support. If you need assistance, the following information will be made available to you via your school's website. Please take a moment and just review this slide.
Now that you have had the opportunity to have an overview of option 2 and option 3, you might ask yourself, what do I need to do as a parent or a family unit to help support my child or children? First, establish a routine. Establish a structured routine to follow on a daily basis. Provide a consistent schedule and expectations for time to work, time to play, and time for family. Next, create a learning space. Find a comfortable and quiet learning space. Assess and adapt. Be aware that this is a new environment for students and check in from time to time on how they are feeling. Maintain a balance. Help your child maintain a healthy, active, balanced life during virtual school. Talk about the learning. Talk to your children about their learning. Ask questions about the content and reflect on the learning process. Ask for support. Contact your child's teacher or tech support if you have questions or you need help. Offset screen time. Pay attention to how much screen time your child has and try to balance it as much as possible with other activities. Stay connected. Help your child find ways to stay connected virtually with friends and classmates. And reach out. Talk to other parents who also have children in virtual school. We know the first day of school, we're going to have bumps. This is something new for all of us, so we're asking you to pack your patience. Be flexible. Take deep breaths. Have humor. Work in connection with your teacher in school. Respect each other. Encourage one another. Let's have patience, kindness, and respect and compassion as we are all working, learning, and growing together in this new virtual platform. At this time, we are going to transition into our question and answer period. Please type your questions in the link below. We will do our very best to answer your questions this evening. We have approximately 15 minutes to answer questions. Those questions that we do not get an opportunity to answer will be available. The answers to those questions will be available in our frequently asked questions document.
Parents, we thank you for your questions. We're ready to begin. One of the questions that we have is, where's the frequently asked questions document? The question is, where can you locate the frequently asked question document? Our frequently asked question document is located on our Newton County School System website. You can locate that under the Reopening Schools tab. Again, it's on our district website under the Reopening Schools tab, and you'll see a frequently asked question document when you click on that tab. Please provide us with a moment as the questions are uploaded. The next question, it says, what is the platform for students doing self-paced? Okay, the platform for self-paced students is Edgenuity. Our K through 5 program, they use Pathblazer, and our 6 through 12 program, they use courseware. Students will access Edgenuity through our Canvas page, as we shared earlier, which is our learning management system for Newton County Schools. How will grades be translated over when students are using Edgenuity? School-based facilitators will transfer the grades from Edgenuity to Infinite Campus. You will learn more about this and be provided more information during our self-paced orientations. Those orientations are next week. Secondary is September the 1st, middle school at 5 o'clock p.m., high school at 6:30 p.m., and elementary school is September the 3rd at 5 o'clock p.m. I'm sorry, I'm looking over to my right, looking at my colleague to ensure I'm providing you with accurate information. Thank you, Dr. Mosley. I see a question for elementary school.
For first graders, how much assistance from parents, for our first grade students, how much assistance will be needed from parents in order to keep students engaged in what will be allowed? Well, really, when we think about acclimating all of our students, whether it's a kindergartner to a fifth grader, it's going to take some time. Utilizing the virtual platform is a learning process. So I can imagine the first few days or maybe even the first weeks of school, our students needing a lot of assistance as we're teaching them how to log on, teaching them what's appropriate, how to mute themselves and unmute, and turn on their cameras and turn cameras off and use the chat function. So there's going to be a learning curve there. So we do know that our students are going to need that assistance, and we're asking for that family unit to help us in that, to ensure that the students are engaged and staying on task. But as time progresses, we would expect that some of that help and that assistance that parents are getting, you kind of step back and you allow those students to start operating independently. We have a portrait of a graduate here at Newton County, and it's about being an independent person or an independent student, a critical thinker, being able to be resilient. And so this is a part of that process. This is a part of that learning process. So when students are having difficulties, yes, we want to be able to show them how to handle those situations. If your internet connectivity drops, what do you need to do? We don't want our students to panic. We don't want our families to panic. But this is an opportunity to teach students to push through no matter what the situation is. So to take deep breaths, to take a minute to gather yourself, and then jump right back on. So definitely we need and want support from our parents and grandparents and family units that are out there helping our children be successful. Our next question. If you are at the theme school when it's open house, So that is a wonderful question. Our theme school does house K through 8 students. So with that being said, we are asking for all of our families to participate in open house on August 31st from 5 to 7 o'clock. The information detailing the live links and everything will be provided by the school. Again, for our theme school, since it is a K-8 school, we're asking you to follow the elementary school schedule for open house, which is August 31st from 5 to 7 o'clock p.m. Our next question. Will the parent university be recorded for those that cannot attend all day Saturday? Yes, our parent university sessions will be recorded. Again, we welcome all of our families to participate. Sessions will take place this Saturday, August 29th, from 9 to 3 o'clock p.m. The topics that are being covered: Zoom, Canvas, how to keep your child safe during these times using internet. So we really need all of our parents. If you cannot participate in the live sessions, please look on our district website for the recorded sessions for our very first parent university. We have additional questions rolling in. And this is actually in high school questions, so I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Warfield.
The next question is, how do you find out the class schedule for high school students? Class schedules will be provided to you prior to open house. They'll be available to you prior to open house. If you don't receive them prior to open house and you can't download them on the Infinite Campus platform, then you can ask for assistance at open house, but you will receive those schedules prior to the beginning of the first day of school. Okay, we have another question. Where can I access the sample schedules? I can't locate them on the county website. Again, the sample schedules are located on the Newton County website. When you look at the tabs at the top, please click on the Reopening Schools tab. Once you click on the Reopening Schools tab, there's a Learning Models Options tab. You can click on that one as well. There's an explanation that you'll see on that page that's provided, but under that explanation, there are links located below that provide you with an example or samples of our daily schedules. You'll have a sample of elementary, middle, high, and then there's a sample for the Newton College and Career Academy. The next question is, what do we do if we cannot get onto the internet? If you are experiencing connectivity issues, please notify your teacher or contact the school. We also have technology assistance available at each school, and within this presentation, we also provided you with a slide that gives you the contact information, the email address, as well as the telephone number for those individuals. Their names and their email addresses will also be located on the district website, and we've asked our schools to also ensure that it's located on their websites as well. You will click the Reopening Schedule and the Virtual Learning Assistance for Parents tab up under that, and it's also located there. The next question, where is the link to the virtual learning checklist? The virtual learning checklist is also located on our district website. The Reopening Schools tab, please click on that one. And there is a virtual learning assistance for parents tab, and you can click on that one to download the learning checklist. Again, if you need a repeat of this, it's also within this presentation, and we have the actual link on this presentation. The next question that I see is in reference to elementary school, so I will yield to Dr. Mosley.
Our next question, do pre-K students have the self-paced virtual learning option? At this time, pre-K students do not have the self-paced virtual learning option. The only option we have for our pre-K students at this time will be our option 2, which is our school-based virtual learning. Our next question, very much similar to one of our prior questions about connectivity. So if there is an outage at the student school, or if there's an outage and students, if there is an outage, let me see if I can read the question here today, excuse me. If there is an outage, are the students counted absent? So students will not be counted absent if there is an outage. But we do ask for students to log back in as soon as possible. We have experienced when there was an outage before, and usually our service providers are able, whether it's within the community, they're able to get our students and families back up rather quickly. And so we do ask that if for some reason there is an outage, we want to ensure that students log back on as soon as possible. Our next question, during open house, how will we be able to know which class our kids will have? So I hope I'm going to answer this question the way this individual intended. As far as elementary schools, teachers are sending welcome letters and notifications saying, welcome to my classroom, or they're letting, as you're picking up your instructional materials and devices, where the schools are actually informing families at that particular time who their teacher will be. So with that being said, you would know that prior to open house and be able to click on the appropriate link for your teacher to have that live session. For middle school and high school, student schedules will be posted prior to open house. They should have an opportunity to go into the Infinite Campus and actually see what their schedule is, and on those schedules, the actual teachers' names are there for them. The time now is 6:44, and the final question that if we can get one or two in, it looks like we have a high school question, so I'm going to ask Dr. Warfield to come up and address it.
Okay, the next question says, will high schools need textbooks? If so, when will those be released? Okay, textbooks are all online for secondary students with the exception of the physical science textbook. Access through My Launchpad, which is a single sign-on, a digital platform for our district. So students will have access also to the hard copies of their textbooks. Dates for distribution of those textbooks, those dates are forthcoming. However, at this time, device distribution is taking place this week. So again, the textbooks are available online. We will provide an opportunity for students to receive a hard copy of the textbook, and the dates are forthcoming for that. However, and the schools will provide you with those dates. However, device distribution is taking place this week. So elementary school is the 24th, 25th, and 26th. Middle school, 26th and 27th. That's tomorrow and Thursday. And high schools, the 24th and the 25th. This concludes the question and answer portion of the presentation. We thank you for joining us today. If there's a question that you have and we did not have the opportunity to respond to it, we are looking at the questions. We're noting the trends in the questions, and we will respond to those questions. It will be available in our frequently asked questions document. I do want to conclude this time by just reiterating some of the dates and reminding us about some of our upcoming dates. Again, we have Parent University, which is this Saturday, the 29th. Parent University, please parents, join us this Saturday. You can find more information on our district website. Next week, we have open house. Open house for elementary school is August the 31st. For middle school is September the 2nd. And for high school is September the 3rd. We also have orientations for the self-paced model. Orientation for the self-paced model for 6th through 12th grade is September the 1st. Again, it's at 5 o'clock for middle schools, 6:30 for high schools. And for elementary schools, it's September the 3rd at 5 o'clock p.m. Again, thank you for joining us, and this concludes our presentation. Have a wonderful day.